everybody, welcome back to Just a Glimpse. I definitely want to apologize for my absence. Honestly, I just could not figure out any topics that I was passionate about that I wanted to do topics on. As I said multiple times in the past, when it comes to this particular show, I don't want to do current events that everyone and their grandmother is talking about week to week on all the other gaming podcasts. You guys, a lot of my listeners listen to multitudes of gaming podcasts throughout the week, so you're hearing a lot of the same topics being talked about day to day, and it just gets to be too much. So I didn't want to do what everybody else is doing, and I wanted to, step aside and pick things that stand out to me, not let it be so copy paste like everybody else does. Everybody else picks the latest current event and they all talk about the same topic every flipping week. That's boring. All right. I only need to hear maybe one or two podcasts talk about a topic. I don't need to hear everybody doing the same topic. That being said, over the last couple months, there really hasn't been too much going on that's really stood out to me that I want to talk about. I've watched a couple movies, but honestly, they didn't leave a big enough impact on me to either berate them or super praise them. I watched them and I was like, whatever, and I moved on. I didn't see them as worth my time to talk about. One of them was, I think, the Tomorrow War, and then there was another one I watched. I can't remember what they were. They were fine. I didn't really have much to talk about on those. So I was like, what am I gonna do? So I just haven't been uploading episodes because nothing has been getting me passionate lately. But things are changing, friends. Things are changing. I've been getting more and more fired up because things are happening. Things have been happening and I haven't been saying much of anything. Every now and then I have a couple outbursts on Twitter, but it's rare for me to do that. I usually just stick to posting indie game stuff on Twitter, and I avoid the chaos that is Twitter. But every now and then I bite. Because of the way the world has been lately, on a political level, it's been making me smolder on the inside. Smolder. And they just keep fanning and fanning and fanning the coals. And I'm telling you, I'm getting fired up. I'm getting ready. Things are gonna change. Before I dive into what I want to talk about today, how do I want to say all this? Oh man, I've always tried my best to avoid politics when it comes to my Twitch streams and podcasts and things I do. I always try to stay away from it. But let me tell you, after things that have happened within the last, I would say 5-6 years, and stuff, it's getting harder and harder and harder to just keep silent like I've been. And let me tell you, I disagree wholeheartedly with a lot of the BS that's been going on right now. And I've been debating since I've been struggling so hard with coming up with passionate things to talk about within pop culture, gaming, movies, things like that, that maybe I should rebrand Just a Glimpse, because season 2 here ends in a couple months at the end of the year. I need to try to get some more content out there for you guys for season 2, but I have been kicking it around that maybe for season 3 I need to rebrand and make this more of a controversial podcast and not be based around gaming, because let me tell you, right now I feel like I'm the minority because of the way people have been acting, and I want my voice to be heard. And I know a lot of people that follow me are going to disagree with me, but you know what? I don't give a shit. I have the right to my opinion. You have the right to your opinion. That's that. If you want to go and spout your nonsense, go ahead. I have just as much right to spout my nonsense. The only difference is when all those people spout their nonsense, I stay their friends. I keep following them. If they're not friends, like if I don't know them personally, if they're creators or celebrities or whatever, even if I disagree with them, guess what? I still keep following them. I keep supporting them because I'm not a closed-minded individual that has to stay in an echo chamber where if someone doesn't, think the way I think, they're not worth my time. All right? I'm not like those people. I can coexist with people I disagree with. So, that being said, if I was to take this leap and do this, I can see who the real people are. The real people will stick around, despite disagreeing with me. Phonies are the ones that are gonna be like, oh, she believes this or she believes that. I cannot, breathe the same air that she does. You people are fake. You people are super freaking fake. And that leads into the whole gatekeeping and all the hypocrisy that goes on around that right now. All right, now before I get down that rabbit hole that I don't want to get into right now, let's get into why I'm fired up. And it has to do with gaming news. It's also political, but it's gaming news, okay? Yesterday for Labor Day here in 2021, for those of you that, listen to this way later, because I do upload my seasons on YouTube later on. So, for example, for those on YouTube, if you're listening, for example, so if I start season 3, people on YouTube won't have access to season 3. They'll only be able to listen to seasons 1 and 2. Season 3 will be locked down to people just on Spotify, Apple, Google, things like that. Once I hit the next season, then the previous season goes on YouTube. So YouTube is always going to be like a year behind. So if you don't want to be behind, get off YouTube and throw up my show on Spotify or whatever audio podcast app you prefer and give me a listen. I'm also on Amazon. Anyways, so yesterday, CEO of Tripwire Games, John Gibson, all right, Tripwire. Think of the games like, I think he did Killing Floor, and they did the one, Man-Eater with the shark, all right? So now you guys kind of have an idea what I'm talking about, because I know a lot of you don't follow indie games. Anyways, with all the stuff that's been going on, with the heartbeat bill in Texas, whether you're for or against, I don't care. I don't care if you're for, I don't care if you're against. But regardless of what side you lean on, you still have the right to be on that side. You have the right to voice your beliefs for the side that you're on. No one should silence you. Okay? I am a strong advocate for freedom of speech. Okay? And I'm getting tired of people silencing people because they don't like what people are saying. But guess what? Freedom of speech means we don't care about your feelings. We have the right to say what we want to say. Even if you don't like it, hate speech. Everybody hates hate speech. Hate speech isn't good, but guess what? Hate speech is still free speech. They have the right to say it, even if you don't like it. Anyways, so John Gibson comes out, he makes a comment, applauding heartbeat bill in Texas went down. So he makes his comment, basically, being happy with what happened and making it seem like he's pro-life. He never flat out said he was pro-life, but, that's what people's take is going to be based on his comments. Anyways, of course, Twitter is going to get up in an uproar, because what is Twitter? Twitter is predominantly run by leftists and progressives. So if you don't fit that narrative, you're instantly going to be canceled. All right? So most people who disagree with that kind of stuff, they tend to just keep their head down and they don't voice their opinions on things. And it shouldn't be that way. We live in America. This isn't a communist country. We shouldn't have to, stay hidden under a rock because we're afraid to say what we want to say. That is BS. Anyways, so he said what he wanted to say on his own personal account. Today, it's the day after, Tripwire drops a post saying that they're appointing a new CEO by the name of Alan Wilson. All right, and so basically they forced John out. They fired him. They forced him out because they didn't like what he had to say. All right, and he has 100% right to say it. All right, and it's not and he did not use the company's account to voice his opinion. He used his own personal account, which he has full right to do. They forced him out because his comments, this is me quoting them now, his comments disregarded the values of our whole team, our partners, and much of our broader community. Get the F out of here with that BS. You know dang well that if he had fit your narrative and aligned on your political viewpoint, he wouldn't have had to ask any of you anything. He could have just voiced his opinion and you guys wouldn't have said anything. It's because of the fact that he said an opinion that isn't, popular on social media, because social media is mostly liberal. all of a sudden you guys have a problem with it. All of a sudden you guys have a problem with it, and you force him out. You force him to resign. You put someone else in there. Absolute BS. If a CEO came out and found out that someone had liberal views that they voiced on their own personal account and removed them from their company, they would be berated so heavily by the public. It would be insane. Like, how, oh my God, this person, is gotten fired because he shared, their liberal viewpoints. This is an atrocity. How could this happen? That's what everybody would be doing. But because this person had more of a conservative viewpoint, we're all gonna celebrate. Yay! Yay! Let's get them out of there. Conservatives, you're terrible people. Oh my God, I'm so mad. I am so mad. That is gatekeeping. That is hypocrisy. All right? Hypocrisy. You are firing someone for an opinion. He had an opinion. We all have opinions. Right now, you all have opinions about what I'm saying, whether you agree or disagree with me. Right now, you have an opinion. But guess what? You have the right to that opinion. He has the right to his opinion. He has the right to freedom of speech. He can say his stuff if he wants to. And no one should get fired for an opinion. I don't care what the opinion is. Unless you're legit doing harm to someone, there's nothing wrong with voicing an opinion. All right? And this is ridiculous. This is unheard of. I think this might even be illegal, but I don't know for sure if it is. I'm going to have to do some research. I think this is illegal. Because I know you can't fire someone for their religious beliefs. So I'm pretty sure you can't fire someone for their political beliefs. So there's some BS going on right now. And I'm just getting tired of this cancel culture nonsense. It's nonsense. Everybody wants to be in this echo chamber that if you don't think and talk and act like me, you don't belong here. And it's like, why do you want to be around people that are parroting you all the time? You're never going to learn anything different. We need the adversity and the diversity of different opinions. That's how we grow. So many great things that we have achieved in this country is because we've had debating opinions on how to solve things. And that's pushed us to actually improve things. If everybody thought the same, we wouldn't have any motivation to improve anything. Nobody would call anybody out for, flaws because we'd already agreed. There'd be nothing to debate, nothing to improve if we already agree on everything. This is simple-minded and closed-minded BS. Absolute BS. I am fumed. I am so fumed right now that this person lost their job because of their political standing. I just can't believe this happened because, like I said, if this person had been left-leaning and got fired, everybody else would be, there would be huge backlash for it. Huge backlash for it. But because his viewpoint leans to the right, you all want to say this is a good thing. If you think this is a good thing, then you're a freaking hypocrite too, because I know darn well if you lost your job today because you had a left-leaning viewpoint, you would be pissed. So if you think this is right, you're a freaking hypocrite. Nobody would want to go to work and be like, oh, guess what? You don't have a job today because we found out that you're pro-life. Or you don't have a job today because we found out you're pro-choice. That's bullshit. That is bullshit. People who are pro-choice have the same rights in America as people who are pro-life. Stop acting like you're entitled and above everybody else. I'm so angry, and I'm tired of this crap happening in our country. I'm tired of it happening in everything, and it just makes me even more upset that I had to see it happening within the gaming industry. I can't believe they fired a guy because of a political viewpoint that he has the right to have and share. He didn't threaten anybody. He didn't do anything illegal. His only crime is that he didn't fit the narrative. That's it. Victim of circumstance. This day and age, if you're not loud and left-leaning, you need to be shunned. That's all it is. And it's BS. I've never shared how I lean politically. I've never shared it, but you know what? I'm going to do it today because I'm so ticked off. People might want to assume because of the fact that I am fired up about this that I'm a Republican. I am not a Republican. I'm also not a liberal. I'm not a progressive. I'm more center. There are things on the left I agree with. There are things on the right I agree with. In the past, I used to be a lot more left-leaning. But with current events and things going on over the last couple years, I've been starting to lean more and more on the right because I'm seeing all the bullshit, all the gatekeeping, all the hypocrisy. You guys all want to keep saying one thing and, freaking chastise everybody else. But when you do it, it's high fucking praise. And I'm getting tired of this shit. And that's why, and the LGBT community is just as freaking guilty with their bullshit. I fucking disown those assholes because they're a bunch of gatekeeping fucks too. Alright, so no. It's a bunch of bullshit. It's all a bunch of bullshit. I'm angry. I'm upset. I'm tired of having, just sit there and watch people go on and on about this shit and just sitting there and keeping my head down. I'm done. I'm freaking done. This country right now, which thanks to social media, is being run by a bunch of freaking ignorant fucks. Thanks to social media, the rest of the world thinks America's a joke because you're all freaking acting like fucking children all the damn time. Everybody wants a pat on the back. Everybody wants, that instant gratification. Nobody wants to, have their feelings hurt. What the hell? Life is hard. You're not going to get instant gratification. And I'm tired of people freaking whining every time they don't get things they want, and they whine and whine and whine. They play the victim, and then they get free handouts. That is what's wrong with our freaking system right now. Used to be, you had to work hard to get what you wanted. Nowadays, you just gotta cry, and you get what you want. Bunch of spoiled brats. I'm so tired of it. And I don't care how many of you are freaking disagree with me right now. Don't care. This is my show. I'll say what the frick I want. If you don't like it and you want to be, in your little box of like-minded individuals, then you go hide in your little box. But if you're someone who's level-headed and an intellectual who can listen to differences in opinion and not be instantly offended like a freaking child, then, stick around. There's going to be plenty more of it, I'm sure, because I'm freaking sick of this crap. So yeah, that's basically what this is. I'm tired of this stuff. Like I said, I'll try to find some more gaming related, non-political stuff, some movies or something to get some more episodes in here to finish off season 2. I really would love to hear you guys' feedback. Reach out to me on Twitter and let me know what you think, because I really think season 3 I'm going to rebrand and we're going to become controversial up in here, and I don't care whose feelings I freaking hurt. So go ahead, let me know. Check me on Twitter. It's coolcat_Terry. I'm over there. My DMs are open. Bring it. And guess what? If you come over there with a bunch of hate speech, guess what? Thank you. Thank you. Because you know what that tells me? That tells me that you listened to me. You gave me a listen. You helped my statistics. So thank you. I don't care what your opinion is. Like I said, you helped my statistics. You listened to what I had to say. The fact that you disagree means shit. I got my listen. I got my view. So thank you. Are you someone who is into podcasts? Perhaps you want to have a really cool library where you can find some great podcasts to listen to on your commute to work. Or maybe you're looking to create one yourself. Well, let me tell you about Anchor. It's the easiest way to make a podcast, all right? It's free. It has creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or your PC. Anchor will also distribute your podcast for you. Complete ease, hassle-free, so that way you can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, as well as many more outlets. You can also make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. Okay, folks? Everything you need to make a podcast in one place. It's fantastic, all right? And if you want to get started right now, all you got to do is download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started.